Hello, beautiful ones. It's me, Dr. Missy Hillock, here to give you a energy update for the week of January 18th to the 24th of 2026. The cool thing about January 18th is it's our first new moon of this year. If you know anything about new moons, you know that the full moon is when we release energy, and the new moon is when we manifest, when we magnetize, when we bring things to us, where we set things in motion. And so, of course, in this universal 1 year of 2026 that we just began, this is really like our first full launch into creation, into creating a new cycle, bringing something to life, bringing a vision into our tangible reality. So let's get into the reading and see what the cards have said. The first deck I pulled from, one of my favorites, Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And the card that I pulled is actually a special card to me, number 42, Chop Wood, because when I first got this deck and I did my very first pull from the deck, this was the first card I ever drew. And you might be thinking, how in the world do you remember what the first card was that you drew? The reason is because at the time, my dad, who had been disabled for years, was living with us, and my husband and I were caregiving for him full time. And so when I drew a card from this deck for the very first time, I was really leaning into some guidance related to just how to move through the energy of life at that time. It was really difficult. There were a lot of tasks at hand for us to do, a lot of mundane, repetitive tasks, thankless jobs, lots to do that caregiving involves, as I'm sure you know if you have been a caregiver. And so this card, Chop Wood, represents the importance of those everyday tasks, doing the little things, doing the mundane, the thankless jobs, the moment to moment necessary things like washing the dishes, cleaning up, pouring yourself a glass of water, just all the things that don't really have the sparkle of what we want to see in our life. But without those things, life wouldn't exist, right? It kind of reminds me of the message we had that the mouse brought us a week or so ago related to the little things. It's all in the small things, right? So this is a reminder that as we step into this new energy, this creator energy, this birthing of new visions, we need to focus most on our everyday routine things. And maybe this is a call kind of twofold for being more present and more aware and more conscious and in the moment with the things that are those important things that really keep us connected with the people in our lives, or keep our bodies healthy, or keep our home functional and clean and a safe place to be, all the way to looking at where there may be some things within our routine or within our reality that are calling for some change, where there's some things that we can literally kind of clean up, as the broom suggests, right? That magical broom is saying, where are these little tweaks that can be made in everyday life, in the way I'm living, in the way I'm doing things, maybe even the way that you're thinking. Maybe it's the thoughts that are coming through repeatedly in the mind. Where are we calling for presence and appreciation and being conscious, and where are there things that are calling to be released as we lead into now this new moon that brings this time of creation. So I love this message and this card in particular. Now the second deck I drew from, because we have a new moon, was a moonology deck, moonology manifestation, because again, new moon is all about manifesting, right? And this is a book by Yasmin Boland, or I should say a card deck by Yasmin Boland. Love her stuff, love all her astrology stuff. You'll never believe the card that I drew. I promise I drew it. Okay. I drew the new moon in Capricorn, which this new moon on Sunday, January 18th, is the new moon in the sign of Capricorn. So how on point this message really wants to come through loud and clear for all of us. And the message is step up and lead. Okay. And I really love this message on the heels of this card, which is like, again, doing the things, cleaning up house, being present with all that is within our demands so that we can step up and lead in our own life, lead others. I really see this card as a call toward leading, even related to a professional realm, related to your work, related to a vision that you want to bring to life in relation to business or some type of way that you're sharing your gift in the world, right? And maybe this is a way that you are also hoping to to have some revenue, to have an income stream for. So this is your call at this first new moon of the year to really look ahead. Look at the forecast of the rest of the year and give yourself a vision to hold of what you hope to achieve, what you hope to experience as an outcome by the end of this year. And if you are a really detailed person, you may want to make some notes and look at maybe some practical steps to get there. And if you're much more of a spiritual person, you may lean into visualization and really holding this vision of this amazing outcome related to you as a leader, something you want to lead into existence. And now's the time. And if you're not a believer or someone who's practiced doing a vision board, this is a great opportunity to put that on paper, whether it's with images or words or however you like to lean into that, to really set this vision for yourself that you're going to return to, that you're going to hold, that you're going to lead. You're going to say, this is my thing. I'm going to be the champion of my vision, and I'm going to bring this to life. And then the last deck that I pulled from is actually my current favorite. If I had to pick a current favorite, this would be it. The Soul Coaching deck by Denise Lynn. I love how clear the messages are. I love the images on this in this deck as well. And dun, 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 card number 22, focus. Okay. Fits in beautifully here to the theme of what we're hearing, which is, again, we start with getting really present in everyday life. We start cleaning up, getting all our ducks in a row so that we can really focus on a vision that we want to bring to life, step up, to lead, to hold the energy of that outcome as our own sovereign leader. And then this is calling us into focus, to become really concrete and clear about what we desire, and also to focus our energy there. This is a call to be noticing when you're spreading yourself too thin or you're holding too many visions, so many things you're trying to bring to life. And yet, because they're all there, it's hard to really be in resonance and frequency with just one. So this is a call to really get centered, grounded, present. That's what the act of chopping wood does. It gets us in our bodies, in our present reality, so that we can see where we want to move. And this is that call to focus even more on that one beautiful thing, that one beautiful creation. Don't hold too much. Allow yourself to know that you as a being, you're living on divine time. You got all the time in the universe because you're a multi-dimensional soul that lives on. So no need to rush. Lean into what gives you the most joy, the most excitement, that feels the most alive in you, and pick that thing to be the thing that you want to bring into life this year. And everything else will fall into place. Everything else will find its perfect time to come in for creation. And this, again, is an invitation for you to find this one thing that you're going to nurture, that you're going to support in your heart, in your mind, in your actions, in your words, in the way that you move through the world, so that you can experience this beautiful reality in front of your eyes. I hope that this message supports you this week of the new moon, and I hope that you'll join me again next week for another beautiful energy forecast. You can subscribe here, and you can also sign up for my mailing list, where you get even deeper messages related to the readings that I'm sharing, as well as other tips, practices, resources, all the things, really easy, right there in your inbox. So the information is in the description for this video, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, friends.